So I heard something interesting the other day, which is more or less that symbology is just ancient science, which I think is really great because, I mean, it really is, isn't it? When you think about it, symbols are more or less just um, mental expressions of something. First, if we have a circle, for example, what does a circle represent? Well, this is a symbol of a circle. So the question is more, what do you want it to represent? You can make it represent a zero or an O, the letter O, the number zero. Or we can try to more look at the circle from its pure philosophical intention, which is that it's everything, or it's space, it's nothing and everything. It's God, you can think it's the whole, all of that stuff. And then, things like spirals, for example. There are two definitions. First is the naturalistic definition, the philosophical naturalistic definition of it. It's an emanation of energy, an emanation of something, a linear emanation. And then there's the second definition, which is, what do you want this to represent? It's maybe you want it to represent the sky or something. If you're making a language, you instead just say like the Japanese symbol for I don't remember it. whatever it is, or I guess we can make it a seashell. But anyway, let's divide this everything symbol into two things. So language is important. Now, why is it important to be disciplined in your studies of language? Be that writing, reading, whatever. It's because language is a microcosm of reality, and we can essentially map out reality in language and put reality into language. Now, once someone said language creates reality, and I thought that was very stupid, and I still think it's very stupid. It's reality that exists to create language. So don't get it twisted. Language is just symbols to express reality. Now, of course, if we created things in perfect harmony and order, we could create a perfect system of language and such to represent that. Of course, language isn't, we haven't done that yet, because the person who has perfect harmony and divine intellect and such, I guess, hasn't created the perfect language. Or maybe there's one out there, who knows. But anyway, we do the best we can with English, so let's start writing things down and understanding things. So this is going to be our index. Now we have the word up, and then we have the word down. Now why are these words important? Up relates to up, down relates to down. Do you see how we've created the division within using language? This is positive and negative. We could add more words to this, for example, positive. I'm using my mouse, you can't hear it. And then negative. So this might be a little slower, negative. So I can just keep adding words, up, down, sky, earth. And I recommend you do this yourself. You try to, fill up one of these, get as many words as you can, so you kind of get the idea with that. These are words which relate to the up dimension, the positive dimension, and these relate to the bottom dimension, the lower dimension. This is heaven and hell, for example. So different words are related archetypally. Now recently I learned about the word Convex and concave. Now, what is convex? Is this one where it's like pops out. Concave is this one where it goes in. Now, the way you remember that is concave. Concave, cave, like caving in. Then convex of, well, I don't know what vex means. If that's maybe some kind of Latin root or some root word or something, I'm not sure. But basically these are two opposite ideas. Now if you were to design something that needed to be concave or convex, ideally you'd want to know the word. Naturally you could just figure out, get some clay and cave it in a little, or get some clay and stack it up to make it smooth and outer pushing. And then you would understand these two concepts in a physical way, but we can understand these concepts in a mental space, a non-physical space, through words and pictures. And then you can imagine it, take it to a lower dimension, or you can try things out. But essentially having the word to say these things is helpful. Again, as I said, reality exists independently and first rather than language. Language is more of a thing we put on. You could reason that language creates reality because people are using it to do so. You could take that approach where everyday people are talking to each other and they're using this mental dimension, this higher dimension in the physical world, the vocal dimension, to speak and listen, as I'm doing now, and that propagates ideas and lets us play around with reality within a higher dimension rather than the lower ones, like physically, playing around with objects. I guess it's like a child playing with toys. That's one way we can do things. So, getting back to language, for example, if we have the dates, now you can put the dates, the monthly dates, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, actually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's better because it'll be seasons. So again, what I'm doing is I'm dividing things in like a logical way. This is a way to organize reality. You see here we have 12 blocks to show the month. So this would be in January. I actually don't know the months very well. I had trouble learning some of these things when I was younger, and I still, every so often I practice and I try to learn them, but I have some difficulty. Okay, the next one is February, I believe, and then I think it's March, and I don't really know the ones after this. I do know we have December, November, October, September, August, and then the rest of them I don't have like. But the idea is that see, we have 3 by 4. It's an array, I guess you could say, a monthly array. Now you could, of course, organize the months here. I'll just quickly check. Okay, so we have March, April, May, June, July. Yep. April, May, June, July, August, September. There we go. So we can also divide them like, or organize them like this, where it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 13, I don't know, whatever, something like that. Or you could do 2 of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, I think that's how it works. Really, it's up to you. This is in blocks. So you see we're dividing, or we're calculating the months, or organizing the months in blocks. We could also do it circular, like this. This is how the astrology wheel works. Yeah, it's funny. I can remember the astrological months, but I can't seem to remember the month. And it's because months, when you think of a month, December, it's like, well, December's kind of an easy one to remember because it's, Christmas and all that. But it's just the word December, the 12th month. Well, I mean, I guess if everything was in, or deck 10, the 10th month, if everything was in numbers, like in Japanese, it's, it's like this month, or Chinese, Japanese, month 1, month 2, month 3, etc. onto 4, and that's just how they do it. And then if they want to say month 4, day 2, day 2, month 1, day, I don't know, day 10. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's literally all mathematical, and they do have special names for the days. The month, it's not, at least in Japanese, it's not very special. It's not unique, but at least for 1 to 10, they have special names for the days, as far as I know. So how you organize things archetypally, that's like language mathematics, so to speak. It's a bit like, in reality, we kind of just talk, and we do have structures like grammar structures, how you want to say things, and conjugations and all that of words, but we're not really making squares, and it's more when we're organizing systems. We're organizing them into different patterns and arrays and archetypal things, I guess. Anyway, I don't know, maybe this is interesting, so hopefully, have a nice day, and of course check the links in the description if you're interested. Goodbye.